This is Super Yacht News in association with Go Earth Boating, navigating boat buyers to better deals. Hi all, welcome back to the channel. So we've got an update from Antigua. You all remember Alfa Nero, the yacht that was seized by the Antiguan government. They changed their laws to seize the vessel, and then after quite a lot of lobbying and deal making and auctions that went wrong, they finally sold that vessel for approximately $40 million. Just weeks after the Antiguan government lobbied the US to remove sanctions in order for them to sell the vessel, the daughter of Andrei Guriev, Yulia Gurieva Motlakov, she popped up and said, actually, that's my yacht and I want it back. And the government sold it anyway whilst that litigation was going on. Now, the lawyers that she's hired in New York have been litigating the case through the courts in New York, and they've had some discovery recently from Northrop & Johnson, which is the company that brokered the sale. Now, the two lawyers that represent Andrei Guriev's daughter, Miss Motlakov, David Boyes and Jonathan Schiller, they have been making a lot of statements online about this case, and the Prime Minister of Antigua, Gaston Brown, has issued a pre-action defamation letter through the Antiguan law firm Rika Bird and Associates, warning the two US attorneys that their public statements about Alfa Nero are false, damaging, and may lead to legal proceedings. The lawyers, like I said, representing Ms. Motlakov, what they are alleging is that a payment was made separate to the actual payment for the yacht, which went indirectly but directly to the Prime Minister of Antigua, Gaston Brown. And they've made these statements in various different formats, including in Antiguan media as well. And what they're saying is that basically they don't have the evidence to prove this. So Prime Minister Brown's attorneys argue that the statement made publicly by US lawyers, including comments to international media and remarks posted on the platform X, amount to accusations of corruption, misappropriation of public funds, and manipulation of the sale process. They said, "You repeatedly posted malicious statements about our client with the intent to cause maximum damage to him, both personally and professionally. Statements have caused our client severe financial and reputational harm." Now, that statement there on itself is something that a defamation suit, at least in the UK, you have to prove that financial harm and reputational harm has been done to be able to file for defamation cases, or to prove them, sorry, not to file them. So I assume it's the same in these forums as well. In the correspondence, Brown's legal team demands that the attorneys stop publishing the contested statements, remove them from media and online platforms, issue a public apology approved by his lawyers, and pay $10 million in damages along with his legal costs. Failure to comply, the letter warns, may result in the Prime Minister filing legal action in Antigua and Barbuda or any other jurisdiction deemed appropriate. As of now, those two lawyers have not responded to that letter, or at least publicly. So that's what's going on in Antigua right now. We'll bring you more on that, of course, when we have it. Now, in previous videos, I was talking about Jan Koum. He owns a lot of super yachts. He owns two yachts called Moonrise, both of them in excess of 100 meters. And I said in a previous video that I'm not sure if he's selling one of them because there's none of them are listed for sale, right? We had somebody contact us today, and they said that the vessel is, in fact, the old original vessel called Moonrise is, in fact, up for sale. And he's currently has it advertised, well, not advertised, he has it currently, the price he wants for it currently is $395 million. But apparently, according to the same source, he paid $200 million. So that's quite the markup, isn't it? It's ironically, he's currently litigating a case against a French designer for marking up prices. So now, of course, that's not the same thing, but I'm just joking. Obviously, he can ask for whatever he wants, right? It doesn't mean he will get it. So that's very interesting in itself. Now, what we've been told is that the vessel is for sale with Burgess, but it's not advertised. It's like a secret sale, like Secret Santa, but different. So that's an interesting one anyway. Anyway, we'll move on. We've got some updates on Yacht Amadea. Now, Amadea, as you probably know if you watched the videos last week, the yacht sailed through Panama Canal, and we suspected it was heading to Germany or to Dubai, but instead it popped up at Pier 66 in Fort Lauderdale, which was unexpected, should I say. Now, the yacht was there over the weekend, and it left the mooring near Pier 66 at 1900 hours UTC yesterday, or 7 p.m. local time, and headed down to the Miami anchorage, where she arrived around 2 hours later, and then she sat there overnight before today heading into Miami down the main channel there around 15:31 UTC, which is about 10:30 a.m. local time. Now, interestingly, there's a webcam on the port of Miami, and we actually captured the yacht sailing down the main channel, and we actually heard them calling, because it also has VHF transmissions on that channel, which is on YouTube, by the way. I'll put a link to that channel if you're interested. And we actually recorded it sailing in. I think we missed the call out on the of the officer of the watch on the bridge calling to the calling from Amadea, but we heard it just as we started to record. Now, we still think the vessel's heading to Europe. What we think is happening is, we mentioned in a previous video that the Lursen are looking to do a refit on that yacht. They built the vessel, so they're the best ones to do it, of course. Unfortunately, they don't have a slot until January. So what we think is happening here is that the yacht's laid up in Miami, or it's laying up in the US, where it's safe from any future litigation, apart from the appeal that's currently ongoing in the US. They don't want to, get caught in another location. So what I think is going to happen is they're going to wait in Miami, and then they're going to sail across to Germany once they're getting close to the time when they can sail straight into the shipyard. Now, if anything gets filed in Germany by when they arrive, the yacht's already in the shipyard and it's already starting work, and then it's they don't have to be stuck anywhere else. So I think that's what's going to happen. We also said that she might go to Dubai, and that's still, obviously we're guessing here right now. But what's interesting is a couple of people said that that they could, instead of, because I said once they get across the Atlantic, they go through the Gibraltar Straits, they have to turn on AIS there because there's a TSS zone there, and there's also one in the English Channel, and you can't sail through those zones without your AIS on. And somebody said that they could possibly go down past around the Horn of Africa and go that way, so they don't have to go through there. But they could do that, but to go from Fort Lauderdale, because that's where they were at the time, from Fort Lauderdale to Dubai through the Mediterranean is 9,104 nautical miles. If they were to do the trip around the Horn of Africa, it's 11,539 miles. That's a difference of 2,435 nautical miles. Now, I'll give you an example. Bermuda to Gibraltar, almost a transatlantic crossing, is 2,900 nautical miles. So that's the difference that they would have to do by going around the Horn. That's why people don't do it. That's why they'd rather go through the Suez Canal, So the way you would have to work it out is the cost of fuel. Time is obviously the main factor for most commercial vessels. They don't want to go all that way around. The cost in fuel versus the cost to go through Suez Canal would be the determining factor, wouldn't it? So if it costs more in fuel to go around, then they'll most likely go through Suez, right? But obviously also there's less restriction for them to head round. But they'd have to refuel somewhere most likely. So anyway, we'll get back into that when they do leave Miami, because like I said, at the moment they're in Miami. They're there by the MacArthur Causeway, I think it is. There's a little super yacht, well, it's not little, but there's a super yacht marina there. And I can't remember what it's called right now as I'm filming this, but I'm sure someone will put the name in the comments. But that's where they are right now. It's a bit tricky to film there because you have to go up on the causeway, but we've done it before. So if anyone's in Miami and you can get some shots of that yacht there, if you're interested in going to see it, you don't have to take photos. If you're just interested in seeing it, you can see where it is on our maps here on the screen, so you can go and have a look. All right, guys, I'll leave it there. That's all I've got for you for this video. I hope you have a good rest of your week. I was a little bit unwell at the beginning of the week, so therefore that's why there was no video on Monday. I'm fine now, though, and I've also had my hair cut as well. So I'm feeling lighter now that I've had my haircuts. But anyway, guys, if you want to join us on Patreon, patreon.com/thesysman, We've had a lot of people sign up recently. We just posted a video today talking about some of the things here and some other things. We do like what we call a patron chat, where we just we do a video where we talk about all the things that are happening. And and we've got all other stuff coming up as well. And we do behind the scenes stuff when we travel, which we're about to travel at the end of this month. So yes, have a look on Patreon, patreon.com/jsysman, and join us there. We don't have YouTube members anymore, by the way. We closed that down. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like and all that jazz, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.